Sup nerds, I'm CuppaJoey and welcome back to another episode of r/maliciouscompliance, where you do exactly what they told you to do, but for some reason they're just not happy about it. I'm so sorry I got in the way of you embezzling the McMoney. I works at 2 McRestaurants. I'm not going to reveal which McRestaurants these may be, but you may work it out. I think it's Burger King. The first was in my hometown before uni for 6 months. The second was in my uni's town for 18 months. The 2 McRestaurants had differing IT systems. One had an online system, the other just had paper. So I couldn't simply be transferred. I had to resign from one, get fast-tracked through application at another, and the people who McTrained me had an easy few shifts. Lead up to being told what to comply to. Now, the first McRestaurant was very strict, but a bit too easygoing. I had good customer service, so was put on the tills every shift. I could combat every Karen with enough sarcasm and fake boomer humour to make them like me. When working on tills, the managers gave the till users their swipe cards so we could issue refunds quicker or delete an incorrect item on the order when the customer changes their minds 10 times. All is good. Each shift I walk in, count the McMoney, do my job, cash the McMoney, go home. I was almost always perfect to the penny, until one shift I noticed a co-worker using my till during my break. When I cashed the McMoney that shift, I'm down by like a fiver and a few pence, and I'm given a cash retainer, disciplinary, and basically a pop quiz about cash handling. After doing so, I mention the other co-worker to a manager, and he tells me it's my fault for not constantly supervising my till and for not locking my till during my break, which I didn't know I could do. He happily shows me. Cool and good. He's nice and even shows me the legal writing that says I cannot leave the till from counting to cashing unless the till is locked. I can comply with that. The night I am finally forced to use this knowledge. A year later, new store, new managers, same legal stuff. I offered to take a co-worker's shift so I could afford to eat the next week and end up on a shift with a manager who has never asked me to go on till before, which is weird. I'm great with customers and despise cooking McFood. This time though she was expecting the other worker but had already gotten the McMoney ready. I take it from her, count it, sign it off and do my job. I start learning that she is working everyone hard while she picks her nails and checks her phone. After a while she notices that we haven't had any orders for a little while and that I'm just stood watching her procrastinate. Stop standing around and do your job! I am. We have no customers so I can't serve anyone. She tells me to go get stock for the kitchen. What? I thought you wanted me to do my job. Yes, do your job. By the book, McManager? Yes. Okay, no problem. I will stay by this till like it says in the book. Duh. I continue to stand there and she gets irate. Look, McManager, the only way I will leave this till is to go on my break. She rolls her eyes and leaves me alone. Yay! About an hour getting paid to chat with the customers and co-workers who are nearby the till. Eventually, I'm asked to go on my break, so I lock the till as per usual and do so. A co-worker of mine, someone who used a flexible till next to mine while I was on break, a flexible till is signed off by a manager, said that while I was on my break she came to the till, got angry tapping the screen for it to do nothing and stormed off. When I came back from my break, I asked for her manager card. No, it's for managers only and you're just a till boy today. Wow, okay, is this an extended break? What? No, go do your job. I'll be able to if you give me the manager card so I can unlock your till and do my job. To be honest, you can supervise me since it's your card. Again, she rolls her eyes, goes to the till with me, holds out her manager card, and I have to swipe it while she was still holding it because she wouldn't let it go. The screen becomes responsive again and I unlock it. She seems to avoid me for the rest of the shift, while I just chill since it wasn't too busy. I have time for a proper laugh with some customers and I even have a drunken friend come in for a milkshake. She and I chat for a while and talk about the weird McManager. End of my shift, the McManager is suddenly very nice and sweet, offers to take my McMoney and count it up for me and I can go home early. Haha, no. I'm paid to the minute and I want to cover my own arse, so I count it myself. Not quite perfect, 3 pence over. I probably just didn't give a few people their penny change when they walked away. But for a cash retrader, it has to be plus minus £1. I have no idea what that means. I'm going to assume that as long as it's not more or less than a whole pound, then it's fine. I'm chill. It was satisfying to irritate her so much while I took the role of procrastinating away from her for that shift. I was grinning on my way home and that I'd done everything as I should and put a manager in her place. I even got a drunk friend buddy to walk home with. Turns out there was more to it. That was the most profitable Thursday evening in months. That evening was hundreds of quid more profitable. A little investigation had been carried out because of this. Then they noticed it was the first Thursday evening in months to not have perfect to the penny cash amount. Then they noticed that it was me who signed it off, not the normal person. Then they noticed that the signature of the other person didn't match with her signature on other shifts. Far too much for it to be a coincidence. CCTV showed McManager to be taking the tills McMoney into the office on the usual workers' break every shift. I got in the way of it this time, just doing as I'm told and doing my job by the book. Fired, of course, fined, of course. I think she spent a small amount of time in prison, but now I've seen her cleaning the floor in the Colonel's Chicken restaurant across the street. Also, I probably would have trusted her to look after the till while I got stuck if she hadn't been so rude. The thing that I really enjoyed about this story is that they had no idea that all of this was going on while they were, proceeding with the malicious compliance. The OP in this case, he was just pissed off with having a manager that was, clearly lacking in people skills. And also the whole, bossing people around while you procrastinate. That's like one of my pet peeves when it comes to work. I had it a while ago. There were these two people in my work who would deliberately try and get away with doing as little as possible. And with one of them, if you noticed, you would just need to go, excuse me, and then she would just get straight on with it and it was fine. But the other one would pretend that she understood and then would just go right back to, mucking about the second that she thought that she could get away with it. Which, I personally would have really, it is annoying when you're doing work and they're not, but I wouldn't have cared that much if it wasn't for the fact that whenever I was doing something that she didn't immediately recognise as work, she'd be like, Joey, what are you doing? Which, I didn't mind her calling me out that one time that I was playing Neopets during work. Yeah, fair enough, she called me out, I stopped. But other than that, it would be something like writing a letter to a client or translating a document for someone, and it would really freaking annoy me because it's just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean it's not working. By the way, you never freaking work. But that's me just calm, we're all calm, we're zen, we're chill. Okay. I'm just really freaking calm now. Okay, we're good everyone, we're good. Moving on. So, that's the thing, is that if this manager would have gotten away with so much more, because when you consider the fact that she had been stealing money for quite some time and getting away with it, and then started demanding, do your job to the book, when there was a little downtime, and why not let the worker, chill for a little bit if there aren't that many customers? If anything, it'll be good for morale, He sounded really happy at the fact that his drunk friends came in and they got to have a laugh together, which would have counted for a lot. And it also reminds me of one of the things that I read recently about how bad managers are the number one reason that good employees leave jobs. And that's what this person was. They were her freaking bad manager, but you know what? It came up and bit them on the arse at the end of the day, and that's the kind of, story that I love. Because, personally, I don't care if she was stealing money from McDonald's. McDonald's has, got way more than they need. What annoyed me was the way that she treated her employee, and it was that. It was the way that she treated her employee. It was the entitlement. It was the superiority complex. All of that stuff that made it all come crashing down. When retail customers feel entitled to extra discounts for no reason, so you give it to them. I worked at a pretty popular department store for years, and I have to say that the customers this store breeds are the worst of the worst. This story is probably 90% of the reason that so many customers feel as entitled as they do. The cashier had the hiccups. It was incredibly annoying. Isn't there anything you can do for me? It was an actual honest-to-God complaint one lady had for me when I was a supervisor. Oh my goodness, sorry, this is actually the first time I'm reading through this. I just picked this one because it was, gilded and highly rated, so I figured it would be quite good. But oh my goodness, that genuinely took me back. So anyway, I was covering a breakup at the registers. I was a supervisor at the time, and I had also already given my 2 weeks notice. I was beyond fed up. It was like spring of my senior year all over again. I had no more fricks left. So I'm up at the registers, and this lady who couldn't have been more than 40 comes in with a huge cart full. Anyone who has worked retail, you know this woman. She's got the hair, she's smacking her gum at me while she talks on the phone. The entire transaction is delayed because I need her to pay, and she starts to ignore me because apparently I'm the rude one for interrupting her phone call. She proceeds to tell the person on the other end, "Give me a second," and finally turns to me and says as if I'm an impatient child testing at her last bit of patience, "Yes. Here's your total, ma'am. Do you have any coupons or rewards to use today?" She nodded, and here is when she drops a few clippings on the counter in front of me, ignoring my outstretched hand, and turns her attention back to her phone. As soon as I look at the coupons, I see that none of them are usable. She has one that's $10 off your menswear purchase of $50 or more. She has all women's clothing. The next coupon expired 2 months ago, another one doesn't start for another week, etc, etc. So I try again to get her attention. She's just as lovely and accommodating as the last time. She rolls her eyes and tells the person on the phone that she'll have to call them back and gives me another sharp yes. "Sorry ma'am, this coupon is expired and this one hasn't started, and this one is for only when you purchase $50 worth of menswear. Do you have any other coupons or rewards?" She stares at me like I had just called her mother some unsavory name. Excuse me? What? What could I do but shrug helplessly? "You have got to be kidding me. That is the entire reason I came out here today, to use those coupons. I really can't use them? Unbelievable. Some customer service here." All the while she's packing her useless coupons back into her purse and glaring scorch marks into my soul. Remember I said I was done? My patience before Jopzilla here was already at 0. She tipped the scales. I was officially in the negatives. I had negative fricks and negative patience left. So, when she said, "You should be ashamed of yourself being so rude to a customer," something in me snapped. I smiled sweetly at her, mustered up a bright and cheery expression that I usually reserve as my waitress face, and said, "I'm so sorry you feel that way, ma'am, but on the bright side, since it's Tuesday, I can still apply your seniors discount, so at least you aren't losing that one, right?" I can't quite describe her expression. I think she was angry, but I think she was more shocked, and in the state of shock, she sputtered out, "I'm not a senior." I mimicked her shock, trying to appear horrified by my accidental faux pas, and then immediately said, "Let me take that off there for you then," and promptly took off the senior discount, bumping her total up another $20. "I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding, ma'am." Oh boy, she was peed. But like I said, I think she was more shocked. She seemed a little dumbfounded. She paid, took her stuff, she left. I will take that petty moment of satisfaction at her horrified expression to my grave. It was even worse the write-up that I did end up getting after she called the store and gave my manager a piece of her mind. So I straight up just don't get how people can act that way to somebody that's serving them. Like, just the amount of really, horrible stories of, mostly Karens, but also the odd entitled military guy, and just generally people who don't have enough control or authority in their lives, so they need to just freaking assert it over some cashier because that's the only time they're going to be feeling important in their miserable existence. So I'm always trying to be really, really nice to cashiers and waiters and Uber drivers. Just anybody who's doing a low paid job where they're serving you, just make sure to treat them really nicely and tip if appropriate, because they deal with so much crap. People seem to think, oh, because you get paid a certain amount, then you're below me, and it's like you need a person to do that freaking job. You're gonna need somebody to ring up your items. I mean, maybe not so much with self-service checkouts, but we need people to, if you're going to McDonald's, you're gonna need somebody to cook the freaking burger. You're gonna need somebody to accept payment. If you're going to get an Uber somewhere, you're gonna need somebody to be driving that car. These are humans, these are people, you gotta treat them with respect, because, I find it, it's beggars belief that we have to say, treat humans nicely in 2020. But yeah, this was a beautiful bit of malicious compliance. It's just again, the whole, "Oh, you're rude because you won't accept my coupons that aren't, valid." That's another popular Karen thing. As soon as they hear no, it's because the person's being rude or horrible. It's not because she's messed up or she's given the wrong thing. It's only because, you know, the cashier is being rude, nothing else. But yeah, they'd already given in their 2 weeks notice, so it was just as well that they were able to just shove this and make the Karen feel bad about herself. I normally don't want people to feel, you know, bad because of age or looks or whatever. But considering she was being so horrible to the cashier, I think the innocent faux pas was definitely deserved. This was really satisfying. I like this one. Even when you give Karen what she wants, she's still dissatisfied. So, first of all, I need to say that in my native language, vegan and vegetarian sound very similar, important for the story. So our burger shop is popular due to our vast range of vegan/vegetarian burgers and the ability to customize everything, which sucks a lot. We get all sorts of ignorant wannabe vegans, and I want it gluten-free but also a big pack of chili cheese types of people, but this lady takes the prize. So it's a late night and we're only about 5 people working in total, but there isn't too many customers, so it's not too bad. I'm handling the kitchen solo and we got our rookie handling registers. He makes a few errors here and there, but is handling himself pretty good. Until Karen arrived. Now I don't hear her order, but after a minute or so her order comes up on my screen. 1 halloumi burger, no biggie. I make the burger and he serves her quickly and everything seemed fine until she returned. I don't have line of sight at the registers, but I can hear her screaming at the poor rookie, so I get over there quickly so Rookie doesn't get left alone with an angry Karen. Me, what seems to be the issue? Karen, I ordered a vegan halloumi burger, but look here, it has mayo on it. Now, if you don't know, halloumi is a type of cheese. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Rookie must have misheard you, but unfortunately we cannot make the halloumi burger vegan since halloumi is... Karen cuts him off. I don't care. I've had it before and I want a vegan halloumi burger. Just remove everything that isn't vegan, you idiots. Now, I don't take kindly to being treated this way, and usually I would have just thrown her out, but I saw an opportunity here. Me. Sure thing, ma'am. I'll make it right away. But what she obviously didn't know is 1. Halloumi isn't vegan, and 2. The bread we use for it is brioche, which contains butter. So I grabbed a paper wrap for the halloumi burger, put some lettuce, onion and tomatoes in there and wrapped it up. I put on my best fake smile and gave her the obviously not burger shaped burger to her and said, here you go ma'am, 1 completely vegan halloumi burger. The look on her face when she unwrapped that mess of assorted vegetables will give me joy for many years, and of course she started screaming again. Karen, is this a freaking joke? What the frick do you think you are doing? I want your manager now, you idiots! And like a summoned genie, my manager came over from the drive area to see what all of the commotion was about. Karen, this idiot can't make a frickin' vegan halloumi burger and tries to give me this crap instead. I want my frickin' money back and I'm gonna report you all to corporate. Manager, cool as a cucumber. Well, lady, this seems to be correct, because last I checked halloumi was a cheese and our bread contains butter. So would you like to change to one of our regular vegan burgers, or are we done here? Karen was fuming. We could have used the heat from her to grill our meat on. She did a full 180 and kept screaming on her way out, "This is not over! You will pay for this!" As soon as she was out the door, we collectively lost our crap, just laughing at that poor pile of lettuce, onions and tomatoes. As far as I know, she hasn't come back and we still haven't paid. So I'm going to start and just say that I think that ethical veganism overall is a good idea. And I think that if we can veganize as much as possible, that's also a good idea. I'm trying to incorporate as many plants and plant alternatives in my diet now than I would have done a few years ago. However, having said that, I would totally go and get a halloumi burger because halloumi is freaking gorgeous. Honestly, that just sounded amazing. But the thing is that you can't go somewhere and ask for something to be vegan if it's not vegan. The thing is that they already had vegan burgers. They said, oh, if you want one of our regular vegan burgers, then that won't be a problem. And I'm sure that it's absolutely delicious. If you have a place that specialises in vegetarian and vegan food, then you know that their vegetarian and vegan options, well, obviously, if it's just vegetarian and vegan, then they're going to be the only options. But they're going to be so much better than the non-vegetarian vegan restaurant that, only has 1 or 2. I mean, she should have just been pleased that there was an option. Most have to go without. But oh god, and the way that they were shouting, how dare you, I wanted a vegan burger, which is why I ordered the halloumi burger. I mean, and then she wouldn't even allow them to explain it to her. You know, I think that she was one of those picky vegans. Like, she didn't strike me as, you know, somebody that had done the research and was doing it more for a label. Like, the fact that she ordered halloumi that was like, I don't want to hear that it's not vegan, just, you know, what she meant was, give me this, but don't put mayo on it, you know, she didn't want to have to deal with the fact that her brioche bun and the halloumi itself are not vegan. But yeah, to just give an assortment of vegetables, like, here you go, that's beautiful. I mean, I have heard of, like, situations where people have phoned and asked about vegan options, and then they got a salad, which was literally just cucumber and red onion. That is freaking unacceptable. If they ask in advance, you better make sure that you have something for them before you say yes. But in this situation, when she was just demanding about it, all beautiful, she wouldn't have a vegan burger, so, you know, she got the vegan option of her halloumi burger, and they gave her what she wanted. I don't know why she wasn't happy with it. That was beautiful. That's it for this episode of r/malicious compliance. If you have your own stories of malicious compliance, then feel free to email me at my email on the channel. If you would like me to read them out, I'm very accessible. And as I say at the end of every episode, if you enjoyed hearing from this subreddit or would like to hear from any other subreddit, then do let me know in the comments. And until then, I'll see you all next time.